Hey everyone, Dave Markowitz here, part of the Dave and Etta Real Estate team, and today we are doing our podcast for Tuesday's Tips. And today's show is really interesting. We are going to be speaking about real estate in Nashville, Tennessee. And one of the reasons I wanted to speak about Nashville today is it's a booming area. I've been there a few times, and I've noticed that it's just real estate is going off the charts there. So I work with a realtor out there who has become a friend of mine, and I'm proud to have him on the show today. Really excited. And his name is Stuart Tutler. And Stuart, thanks so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate you taking the time. Welcome to Tuesday's Tips. As busy real estate agents out in the field, we're always looking to help our community grow. Tuesday's Tips is about allowing our community to share about their businesses and promotions and providing you, the consumer, place to find out more about what makes this community great.
Absolutely.
And, tell us about yourself. Tell us how you started. Tell us what company you work for. And, let's see what's happening in Nashville.
Okay. Well, David, first of all, thank you for having me. Very happy to be here and talk to you about Nashville for sure. Well, I've been here. My name is Stuart Tutler. I've been here for roughly about 25 years.
Wow.
Moved here directly from California, moved from the Los Angeles area, which I love California, but came here to actually get away from California, not so much in a bad way, but I was there for the Northridge earthquake, so that kind of pushed me a little bit towards
Wow.
getting out of the area. But I'm originally from New Jersey and grew up in New Jersey, moved to California, and then came to Nashville.
So you've been on each coast, east and west, and now back down south.
Exactly. The only problem, though, is New Jersey, California has a beach. Nashville does not have a beach. So
That's one of the things that's kind of holding me back, but they have a lot of lakes.
we do have a lot of lakes, but I'm going to see if I can convince you to move here, though, David.
Okay. Hey, it's on my checklist, maybe down the road.
Well,
I may want to retire there. That's not a joke.
There you go. There you go. Well, I work for a company called Parks Realty, and it's a great company. It's considered a smaller company when you think about the national companies. We're pretty regional, and we have roughly about 3,000 realtors in the area, and we cover most of Middle Tennessee, and we have some operations in Florida as well. My territory is pretty much Nashville, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, Thompson Station. And these are areas that are roughly the outskirts of Nashville. Of course, I'm licensed to do Tennessee, so I can do any sale in Tennessee, but I focus on these areas.
Is that considered like the Nashville Metro District?
Absolutely. Yes,
Got it.
yes. And so if you think about it, and because you mentioned that, Nashville itself is roughly about 600,000 population. And if you include Nashville Metro, I think we push close to 2 million.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And let me just run this by you as we're getting into it. I read a stat that they think by 2040, I think it is, there's going to be another million people moving into Nashville Metro.
Absolutely. And I can easily see that. I mean, we have a lot of growth opportunities. I mean, the industries that are here already include healthcare, which we're a major healthcare hub. Nissan moved their headquarters here 10, 15 years ago. Bridgestone's here. And they just announced last year that Mitsubishi is moving their headquarters here. And then if you think about retail, we just announced that Amazon is moving a facility here that will house about 5,000 jobs.
Wow.
And then along with Mars Pet Care as well. So there's a lot of headquarters that are moving here. And one of the main reasons might be, and put this on your checklist, David, is
Okay.
there's no state taxes in Tennessee. And so
Wow.
if you come here, if you're bringing your corporation here, your employees would definitely appreciate that.
Do you know if companies are getting tax incentives as well to move to Nashville?
Yes, they are. And I think that's what's attracting them also. They get several tax breaks by being here, and some of those last for 20 years.
Wow, amazing. So that's kind of where the influx is going, and what's the trigger, let's say, from the exodus from around the country into Nashville.
Exactly. And then if you think about it, Nashville is really a very nice area. And what I mean by that, the people are, even though we're growing large, it still feels like a small town. People are extremely friendly here. No matter where you go, someone's going to speak to you, going to ask you how you're doing. Some of the old um, meat and three restaurants, yeah, they still call you sweetie and honey, and they really are in this area. The population of people are very friendly, very nice, and really enjoy meeting a lot of people coming in.
Were you shocked by that when you moved from, you're coming from California and Jersey, which is more of, rough edge, let's say,
Yes,
and were
yes,
you taken back by, wow, this is really, it is Southern hospitality, let's say?
absolutely. You described it right. I mean, I felt very different about Jersey than I did here. California is somewhat friendly, but still so big that you don't get to know as many people. But when I moved
Correct.
here, I mean, it's as if everyone's your friend, and so it makes it easy to integrate in. I'll tell you a little funny story. When I first moved here, I moved ahead of my family, and when my family finally got here, I'm driving down the street with my wife, and everybody's waving. So all these women are waving, and she's like, "Who are they, and why are they waving at you?" Almost got me in trouble based on how friendly they are.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yes.
I've noticed from, I've been there a few times already.
Mhm.
My daughter's attending school there and she's a
Yes.
musician, but I've noticed the how people are. You're right. They treat you really, really well.
Yes.
They open doors for you. You don't see that here. And they say hi to you walking down the street. And actually, my wife and I as well, we were walking down the street
Yeah.
and we asked somebody a question and we had a half an hour conversation with this person. That would never happen in Los Angeles.
Right.
Never. It
Exactly.
may, but not anymore. So we also were like looking at us like, does he think we're crazy, or is this the normal, thing that goes on here in Nashville? So
Right.
I get where you're going with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, there's so much to do here. And you might realize this already. Nashville has become the number one destination for bridal showers coming in. And I don't know why that is the case, but there's so much to do here and so much to see. If you're into sightseeing, there's the Hermitage, which is the original home of Andrew Jackson, one of our
Wow.
presidents.
Right.
There's Grand Ole Opry. There's Country Music Hall of Fame. There's a historic Franklin, which does a lot around the Civil War.
Right.
There's
And I've been to Franklin, and
Coastal.
that's interesting that you say that.
Yeah.
Franklin was, because of the Civil War, my wife and I were taken back because we went to that. It was a really small town feel, and
Yes.
they have museums about the Civil War. It was amazing because you felt like you kind of were back in time.
Right.
The quaintness of the city and, the housing around there was beautiful. I really loved
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes, it's a beautiful historic town, and really, it's just 20 miles south of Nashville. A great, I would call a family community, and a great place if someone's interested in moving here. Franklin will be high on my list of recommendations
Okay.
because it's so close to the airport, so close to Nashville and other cities as well, and just a great place to live.
So Franklin is south of downtown, correct?
Correct.
Southern Nashville? Okay.
Yes,
And
almost
it's also
directly south. Yep.
directly south, and it's about a 20-minute drive from, let's say,
Uh,
downtown Nashville.
yes.
Okay. And
Correct.
then you have another town that's pretty close to that. That's Murfreesboro. Is that correct?
Yeah, Murfreesboro is about 30 minutes from Franklin, directly east, and again about 20 minutes south of Nashville. So you can kind of see the triangle there. But
Right.
Murfreesboro is big because of Middle Tennessee State University, and so it's kind of like a college community, and everything built up around the college. But it's a fast growing area, and people can still find houses relatively inexpensive. And
Okay.
when I say relative, if you compare it to California, everything here in Nashville is inexpensive.
I
But
was I was just about to say it. I couldn't say it fast enough, but go ahead and explain.
yes, I mean, when you think about the areas, I would say, Franklin and definitely Nashville, the housing market is such a boom that the prices are jumping up so quick. So, for example, back around 2008, the median price for a house in Franklin was about 300,000. It's now well over 500,000. And then in Nashville, the median price back in 2008 again was just over 150,000, and now that's over 350,000. So in Murfreesboro, which is a little bit different, the median price was a little bit over 500, or I'm sorry, a little bit over 150,000, but their median price has only gone up to just over 275,000. So it
Do you
hasn't.
think that's because it's a little bit further from downtown Nashville?
It's actually about the same distance as Franklin is. It's just
Okay.
west or east of Franklin. I think
Okay.
it was just a delayed in, I think, growth as far as the timing goes. So Nashville, as it was growing, Franklin, of course, Franklin is the headquarters of Nissan, so that made a big boom here.
Ah,
And then
got it.
just south of Franklin, you have Spring Hill and Thompson Station, and those areas are growing fast as well. I
Okay.
think if you put those in order, Murfreesboro followed the growth of those cities, and so that's why it's a little bit slower in getting there. But as you can see, the price is still jumping up.
Correct. Tell me about that Southern Nashville. Talk to me about Eastern Nashville because I know there's more of a trendy, progressive movement. Because as we know, Tennessee is more of a conservative state, but we're seeing
Yes,
more progressive coming into East Nashville at this point.
yes,
More
yes,
artsy district, coffee houses.
yes.
Um, Talk to me about that because when I was there, I noticed that, and um, you can find housing there. It's just you
Yeah.
can do bed and breakfast or whatever it is, and people are renting them out like crazy, making pretty good money there.
Exactly. No, East Nashville is, I think, a gem here in the Nashville area. Lots of boutique restaurants, lots of boutique bars, plenty of clothing stores, just a great atmosphere. And it's a walkable community. And I think that's what people are attracted to, is that they pretty much can walk to, like you said, coffee or anywhere in their neighborhood. That's where they're building the tall and skinnies, where the
Okay.
house is way taller than it is wide, and and that's a booming market too, where we're seeing the prices soar in that area as well.
It's interesting because you talk about tall and skinny, and they're trying to maximize the space as they
Yes,
are here in California, or at least where
yes,
I'm from in LA. And um, I did notice a lot of people coming in and doing teardowns there, which that is normal for here.
yes,
Meaning they're going in, finding deals, tearing
yes.
them down, and doing the tall and skinnies, as you say, and making them out of duplexes or whatnot, and maximizing the dollar there because you can get the growth there, and that's something I saw. Are you seeing that as well?
Yes, exactly. You're right on point. They are taking houses and pretty much older homes that they can probably buy anywhere from 150 to 250,000, tearing those down and building two units, a duplex, tall and skinnies that are very attractive homes, but each are selling for anywhere from 500 to 700,000. So a lot of builders are taking advantage of that market. And really, if you come to East Nashville now, I can tell you we probably have three times as many homes up as the last time that you've been here, because that's how fast they're turning those homes over.
500 to 700,000. Wow. That's
Yeah.
already a comparable number to some of the areas in, let's say, the San Fernando Valley.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
which is if you would ask me that about Nashville, I'd said you're crazy. But I shouldn't say that because I looked at a lot of housing in Nashville, and you have a very wide range of pricing there. I mean, I've seen
Absolutely.
things up to $20 million, and it's
Oh yeah.
pretty normal there. So you have a really good entry level, middle level, and then the higher end, of course. Maybe that's
Yes.
because Nashville is known as Music City, maybe because of all the entertainment that's out there and the big farms.
Correct.
But um, you can get a really good size home for, let's say, 400,000 in beautiful areas that I've noticed. And when I say
Absolutely.
good size, I'm talking 4,000 square foot homes on an acre for like
Yes.
400,000. You just, if you're talking to somebody from Los Angeles in California, we're laughing because you can't even get an apartment out here for this. This is just insanity.
Well, that's funny because you're right. When I just give you perspective, when I first moved here 25 years ago, many of the homes you can get pretty much a 2,500 square foot home, 3,000 square foot home for about 150 or 200,000, and of course that's no more. But
Right.
you do have, because of Nashville and because of surrounding cities, if you're willing to drive in, like some people choose not to be around the city area and want to be out in the country. If you choose to be okay with driving in, you can get a lot of house for your money. And I mean a lot, and not just the house, the land too. Lots of communities that surround. You have Gallatin, you have Hendersonville,
Those
you have.
I was leading you right to those two names because I just did some research on both Gallatin and Hendersonville, and
Yes,
I think that's the next up and coming. At least people that are moving, let's say, from California, as we have a lot of people moving out to Tennessee. I think that's the
yes,
kind of areas that they're looking for. One, because the school districts are phenomenal in those two areas you mentioned.
yes,
Two, parks galore. Three, you're on is it Cumberland River?
yes. Cumberland River.
So you have the lakes there. So there's so much going on. There's, like you said, there's no ocean, but there's water activities and there's outdoor life in those particular areas. And I saw things for, like I said, from 350 to 500, 700. You're talking, you can get acres and acres and
Yes,
beautiful home over there. Which,
absolutely.
what's happening here is people, are sitting on tons of equity. They're
Yeah.
cashing out and they're going to Nashville.
Well, if they do, they are, I think, making a great investment. Because I think if you cash out in California, not only could you buy a nice house with land here, but you'll probably have some change left over as far as your investment. And with the continued growth here in Nashville, I can't read a crystal ball, but I can tell you that prices are on the incline right now. And so to get in now, your investment is only going to create more equity here. So it's
So
worth those in
saying is
California to
it's
move here.
still a great time to get in.
It's a great time to get in, I think. Of course, 2020 hindsight, 10, 15 years ago would have been the best time to get in.
Right.
But right now, I think it's a great time for people to get in. We've seen housing increase anywhere from 4 to 7% annually. And that seems to be the trend right now. And so why not grab hold of a great piece of property, a great home, for a lot less than what you'll have in California,
Right.
and of course just the living, just coming here to enjoy the environment. And
Well,
I will add,
you have a lot of aspects there besides like you said, the environment, but you also have nightlife. You
yes,
have
yes,
downtown Nashville is Music City, and there's so much going on there. With
yes.
the hockey team, with the Predators, and it's a scene. And anyone that's not been down there, it's almost Times Square-ish, New York like on East Broadway.
Absolutely.
And the party does not stop there. And I was in shock when I saw it my first time there. But that's one thing nice about Nashville, that you can, like you said, you can drive 20 minutes, you're out of
Yeah,
the scene,
right.
and you want to come back and have a great time. It's so close. Um,
Absolutely.
the Tell me if I'm wrong, but when I was there, they said the national bird of Nashville is the crane.
Yeah.
And that's because when I was there was literally 20 to 30 cranes working, building up the city. So
Absolutely.
I
At
was
one point,
laughing when somebody told me that, but it's there.
yeah.
You don't see that anywhere.
At one point, we had more cranes than any other city in the entire United States. And that was just all the development. And I will tell you one reason why. We have a Music City Convention Center, and that convention center is huge. What we didn't have was enough hotels to support large conventions. And
Okay.
so once that was discovered, I mean, MGM is moving here. Virgin, the guy who owns Virgin Airlines, is building a hotel here. JW Marriott just finished off a hotel here. There's a lot of hotels that were going up, and at the same time, they realized that people wanted to live in downtown Nashville. So there are actually, if people are interested, condos and high-rise buildings that are for sale, or they can also rent apartments downtown Nashville.
And that's something similar to the boom that they had in Las Vegas, that's the way I'm looking at Nashville. And I'm worried about, is it possible that they're overbuilding at this point? Or do you think from the numbers that I last heard, and I know the numbers change a little bit, they say it's anywhere between 80 to 100 people, new people, move to Nashville a day. So are they justifying for these numbers? Are they worried that, because I know there's been a little bit of slowdown, but that's, typical. There's only so much growth. You can go really, really fast. I think the plateau right now is more of a healthier plateau, but are they worried of overbuilding downtown?
You know what? If you ask the locals, they will tell you yes. They're nervous about the buildings that are going up and so forth. But I will tell you, with, for example, Mitsubishi moving here, Amazon moving here, I think there's still room for some more growth. When let's take Mitsubishi for example. There's going to be tons of suppliers that want to be next to Mitsubishi, so they're going to move their headquarters here as well. So I think there's lots of opportunity for growth. So I'm not sure if we've met that crosshairs yet on the too much growth, but I think we're headed that direction. Unless everyone in the whole country decides to move here.
Right. But your jobs are justifying at this point. As we know, we talked about what type of industry there's there. So music, of course, is number one, but healthcare is really huge.
Yes.
Tech industry is booming there as well. So you have different areas where it's not just one industry that all of a sudden it's going to collapse overnight and kill the city. I think you have a very good,
absolutely,
variety of different industries coming in there to kind of balance it out. So if one industry is hit a little bit harder than the other, and let's talk about schooling before we end this, because Nashville is also known for, at least Metro. There's tons of really great schools, from Vanderbilt to Belmont to Middle Tennessee State. There's a lot of, that's one of the things also that Nashville's known for.
Yes. We're known as, I'm not sure if you noticed that we had the Parthenon, exact replica of the Parthenon, which is in Centennial Park. And there's a reason for that. Nashville is known as the Athens of the South. And that's because of all the universities that are right here in this area. You have Vanderbilt University, you have Fisk, you have TSU, you have Belmont. Lipscomb. Yeah, it's just so many of them. MTSU, of course, all of them are right here in this area. And so that's another reason, if you look at, for me as a measure of growth is, and you kind of know this as well, a lot of kids go to college and then they wind up staying in the area that of the college that they went to.
Absolutely.
And so with that many universities, I think, I don't know what the percentage is, but we're going to definitely get those kids to decide to stay here as well. And so
those kids' parents are also following because they've never been there. They go with their kids to see Nashville for the first time to the schooling, and all of a sudden they're like, "Whoa, what is this place?"
Yeah, and that's
so you're getting that growth on top of those kids as well.
Exactly. We see that a lot, and I have parents of these students that are calling me up saying, "Hey, we would like to find property in the area," and so. We definitely are happy to show them Nashville in its entirety.
Wow, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
You've been phenomenal today. Where can people find you? Where can they reach you? And, if anybody has any questions, need real estate in Nashville, where can they get a hold of you?
Well, tell them, don't hesitate to give me a call. We have a great organization, Parks Realty. My number is 615-426-6409. That is my cell phone. They can reach me directly, or they can email me at Stuart, Stuart, at Parks, Parks, at home, HOME.com. That's Stuart at parksathome.com. So don't
Perfect. And I
hesitate.
will actually have that
Yeah.
up on my video segment too, and they can see it on there too to get that so they don't miss that.
Yeah,
Stuart, it's been a pleasure. We will see each other again soon. Next time I'm out in Nashville, and
definitely.
vice versa. If you're ever out in LA,
Yes,
we will have another coffee together. But
absolutely.
thank you so much for taking the time and informing people about Nashville and all the great stuff it has to offer. So, anyways, have a great day,
Hey, you
and
too.
thanks again.
Yeah, thank you, David. Tell everyone to come see me. I'll hang out with them on Broadway.
Hey, sounds like you're going to buy them a beer.
You're right.
All
All
right,
right,
Stu.
David. Take
Take
care.
care.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks again for watching today's episode of Tuesday's Tips. Please reach out and follow us on all our social media.
And if you have any real estate needs, please reach out to us.
We're Dave and Etta, and we
We're
are
the Elite Team.
Take care, guys.
Bye.